Welcome to 10 Minutes With. It's a podcast for people who want to listen to podcasts but don't have all day. We've got a quick chat with someone you might be interested in learning more about in about 10 minutes. One of the missions Natalie Layne has taken on with her music is to give joy a soundtrack. I think you'll pick that up in this conversation between her and Steve Smith from the Rise Up Morning Show on Family Life. Natalie wants you to hear the joy that can only come from knowing Jesus.
By the way, this is just a freebie for people listening. If you're like I do, work out on my elliptical at the gym, the album Joy is a perfect one to go for like 30, 35 minutes. I do that multiple times a week. So thanks. I know you didn't do it.
That is awesome.
You didn't do it for me, I know, but still, it works out.
No, I did. It's perfect for the gym. People say that all the time. It's good running songs, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. So, let's start, since we're on joy, let's start with joy. People maybe who don't know the Lord yet go like, joy, what do you mean joy? You know, is it happy? Explain what joy means to Natalie Layne.
Yeah, I think I didn't even know what that word meant when I started writing this project. But I remember at the beginning of this, I felt like the Lord said, Natalie, I want you to go write a whole bunch of songs about joy. And I just thought that was so cool because I believe it's time for the people of God to have joy again, you know, for us to be so full of the joy of the Lord and that could actually be our witness to the world. And so I thought, you know, when I thought of joy, I thought, okay, you know, people say to choose joy. So it probably means like putting a smile on your face, you know, and pretending to be okay even when things aren't okay. And that is not real joy at all. You know, that sounds like happiness to me. It sounds like something that's very circumstantial, but the Lord took me through a whole journey about, you know, figuring out what joy actually means in the Bible. And one of the things that really stuck out to me was that joy is actually a fruit of the Spirit. You know, it's not a fruit of our own striving or a fruit of ourselves or whatever. It's a fruit of the Spirit. And so I think if we want to have more joy, we have to ask for more of the Spirit. And real joy actually comes from Him and not from us. And so we can have real joy all the time because the Spirit of God is with us all the time. So I'm actively learning that. I think that joy comes from heaven and not from us. And so that's what I want these songs to communicate to people too.
One of the songs on joy is Church Kids. Every time I hear Church Kids, I think to myself, and now I'll know for sure, was Natalie one of those church kids? Is that how you wrote that song?
Oh, you better believe. I was in the church every time those doors were open, you know. So it was a fun song to write. And really that song is my story in a song, you know. The verses talk about being a church kid in the youth group and meeting God there. And I never thought, you know, that was going to be my story. But I met the Lord in the four walls of the church in my youth group and never looked back. So it's my story in a song.
When did you first realize, Natalie, that music wasn't just something that was fun and you enjoyed, but something that God was asking you to steward and a gift that He gave you?
You know, I think I realized it pretty early. I started playing the piano when I was 3 years old. So I was super little, just loving playing this little keyboard that my parents bought me. And I remember one time my grandma was over at the house and she asked me, just for fun, she said, you know, what do you think you might want to do when you grow up? And I thought about it for a second. I had never thought about that. And I said, you know, I think I'd probably lead worship and write songs. And I think I was probably 4 years old or something. And so that's what I'm still doing. I think I knew pretty early. It was kind of baked into me. And that's what I'm doing to this day.
Probably different for every artist, but walk us through your songwriting process. Are you more of a like piano and tears kind of girl, or are you like ideas on a voice memo at 2 a.m., or are you somewhere in between?
Oh, it's both of those. Yeah. I wouldn't say piano and tears. It's funny because when I sit down at the piano, it's like joyful stuff, you know, which I think is interesting because most pianists like to do ballads and, you know, slower songs. But yeah, I love to sit down and write at the piano. I know that will always be inspiring to me. So that's a great place to sit down and connect with the Lord, but also get inspiration for songs. And but I'm writing down ideas in my notes all the time or getting little voice memos. I hate the ones in the middle of the night. Because if a song comes to you, I mean, you're not cognitive at all. at that hour. And so the voice memos just kind of sound like gibberish to me. But I look back, I'm like, I don't know what I was trying to say in that.
That's why the song Jumping Blue Octopus made no sense at first, but
But now, do
now,
you get it?
but now I totally
Yeah.
get it. Now I know where
Okay,
that idea
okay.
came from. It was after that night,
Right.
that night of pizza. Pizza was the big thing.
Totally.
Now, when I hear people who are very accomplished at what they do, I hear a common theme, and it can be in any avenue, not just music, it can be in athletes, anything, that they really, really enjoy the process, even more so than they do the performance. Or where do you fall into that?
Yeah, I like all the parts of the process. I think I talk to artists too who say they don't really love the songwriting process as much as the stage or whatever. I love it all. I love sitting down at the piano. I love writing songs with friends. I love being in the studio, and then I love seeing it through to the stage. I think that's what I love about it, is that I get to see the whole process of a song coming from maybe me writing it in my house to then people knowing the words when we go sing it on stage. I just think that process is so crazy, and that the Lord can actually connect us through music. That's just still so wild to me.
All right. So people see you up on stage and having fun and performing, and it's, oh, so glamorous. Everything about it is glamorous. Tell us something that's pretty ordinary about the whole thing.
Oh, it's not glamorous at all. That's so funny to me. So if we're on the road, that means we're living on a bus. So we're, driving from city to city, sleeping through the night on the bus, and then we wake up in a random city. You don't really know where you are. You have to, kind of orient yourself. And then you're probably getting ready on the bus. I mean, it's just not, it's not glamorous at all. You never know where you're going to be. We're playing a lot of festivals this summer. Sometimes it's pretty hot outside. You're sweating. It's just not glamorous, but it is the best, and it's very worth it.
Is there something like a normal day when you're not on stage or in the studio or anything like that? For the very few, I would imagine, days off. What's a normal day or a relaxation day look like for Natalie?
Well, I live in Nashville, so I love all that this city has to offer. So if I'm relaxing, I'm probably going to be at home a lot of the day. I love to bake in the kitchen. I love to cook. And I always say if I wasn't a musician, I would probably have like a bakery. I would love to do that. So I'm probably baking something, hanging out with my roommates and friends. My brother lives in town and we're pretty close, so we might go out and do something. There's live music all the time. I might go see a show instead of playing one myself. That sounds like a fun day to me.
What role, and you've touched on it a little bit, but maybe a little more specifically as you look back, what role, and even still today, does the local church play in shaping your voice and your faith and what people hear from you?
Yeah, I am involved in a really great local church here in Nashville. Just a small church, but it's like the sweetest place that I get to connect with people and with the Lord. And that's been true for my whole life. I started going to church when I was little with my parents, and it didn't really become my own faith until I was a teenager. But then by the time I went to college, I knew that that was what was going to keep me rooted, especially if I was going to have this crazy career. So when I come home and I get to just be at church, that feels like one of the sweetest places to be. It just feels so peaceful. And I'm lucky to have found a really great church community who just keeps me rooted. That's the word that keeps coming to mind.
Is there a venue? I mean, you've played lots of venues, but is there a venue in the back of your mind? It's like, oh man, I would really love to. I know the place isn't the most important thing, but I'm just curious. Is there something someplace you'd really love to play?
Oh yeah, I have a good one for this. Well, so I grew up in the great state of Colorado. So my hometown venue was Red Rocks growing up.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
So not only would that be an amazing venue to play, but that would be playing at home. That would be hometown. So that is definitely the dream someday.
When you're out on the road, do you see some people? I mean, I wonder about hometown. Do you see some people who maybe you went to school with or church with when you were a kid, and you catch up with them afterwards? Any of that through all those travels?
You know what's funny is growing up, Corey Asbury was actually my worship pastor.
Oh wow!
And so we'll see him and his crew on the road. My band are friends from Colorado, so they've been my friends forever. So my band and his band all know each other, and so we'll see them out on the road. And yeah, it's funny. A lot of Colorado people are out there, and And then people from Nashville that we've known now for 10 years. So that's pretty fun.
You mentioned your love for baking. What's your go-to tour survival snack or a coffee order or something? Or do you have something you gotta have? You gotta have it.
Yeah, it's coffee for sure. And coffee can be hard to find on the road. You never know where you're going to be. So I just like a regular latte, but that can be hard to come by. Sometimes, we're working with maybe a Keurig, which can be fine, or, just some not great coffee. So if I can get a good latte, I'm real happy.
And your songs, Joy, I mean, they all, even when you're on stage, you just exude encouragement. Would people say, do you think, be honest now, would people say, yeah, that's the Natalie I know off stage too? I mean, she's who she is on stage as she is off stage. Do you agree with that?
People are very kind. They do say that. And I love it because I just feel like I can be myself when I'm singing these songs, and I think we need more joy in the world. So I'm trying to spread that.
Remember the first time you heard a song of yours on the radio? Like, were you by yourself in a car, or do you remember that moment?
Yeah, I think I was by myself in the car here in Nashville. But the crazy moment that I remember is being at home in the car with my mom and the song playing like on my childhood radio station. And I was like, whoa, we've been listening to this for 20 years and now it's me. That's kind of crazy.
You are a blessing. Keep up the joy. And we appreciate everything you do. Look forward to seeing you on the road somewhere.
Thanks so much, Steve.
Natalie Layne joins Victory in the Valley Saturday, June 13th, a free concert in Fairmount, PA. Peter Burton and Selah join this special evening too. Bring a lawn chair and find out more at familylife.org/events. If you've enjoyed this episode of 10 Minutes With, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. You might also consider giving to Family Life, the listener-funded ministry that makes this and other podcasts possible. Go to familylife.org and find out more about what we do. Did you know Family Life offers a variety of podcasts? Get up to date with Family Life news or enjoy some family time with Family Life Kids. There's If That Makes Sense, a Family Life original podcast talking about what life is really like as a young adult Christian, and Therese Talk, a podcast with help for women to better serve their families and community. They are all free and on demand at familylife.org/podcast.